right, hi everyone. I am wanting to just take a few minutes to walk you through the middle school and high school language arts scope and sequence resources, where you can find them and how to think about using them as you plan for next year. The easiest way to get there is from the staff bookmark page. So once I'm there, I'm going to look for the TNL content sites button. I have rearranged my own resources, so mine is up at the top because I use it quite often, but you might have to dig for yours a little bit. So once you click on that button, you're going to go ahead and click into the secondary website. And then once you're here, you're going to click on the language arts and literature. Now, currently we do have the scope and sequence front and center, but I would like to remind you that they will eventually migrate to their own respective pages. So we do have these page navigation buttons, and the middle school resources will be on the middle school page and the high school resources will be there. So just keep that in mind. Please also remember that you can go directly to bit.ly /all capitals BSD and then all lowercase language arts. So I'd recommend bookmarking the page so you can come back to it throughout the year. Once you're here, you'll notice that there are two versions of the scope and sequence resources. One is a spreadsheet version and one is a slide deck version. These resources have essentially the same information, but they're organized visually in different ways. So part of this is really about what works best for your brain. Some people love a spreadsheet because they can see the whole year and move between tabs. Other people prefer the slide deck because it feels more visual and easier to move through one unit or one section at a time. I'm going to start with the spreadsheet version. The first thing I want to point out is the yearly view. This gives you the big picture of the year and helps you see how the units fit together across the school year. You may notice that there are some choices built into different units. That's because SAVIS includes more than one narrative unit and more than one informational unit. And most grade levels had to make some thoughtful decisions about what made the most sense for that grade level and the year as a whole. This is meant to give you a strong starting point, not take away your professional decision making. The scope and sequence helps create consistency across the district, but it also recognizes that teachers will still need to make decisions based on students, schedules, and building needs. Next, you will see the skill emphasis page for your grade level. This is one of the most important pages to look at because it helps clarify what is especially important or unique at your grade level. Our academic learning targets are intentionally broad, which is helpful for consistency, but sometimes the grade level nuance can get lost. This page helps bring that nuance back into focus. So as you're planning, this page can help you think about what skills need extra attention across the year and what students need repeated opportunities to practice. You'll also see there's additional information on where you might see it in what unit or what activity. There's also a whole class novel page. This is where you can see the whole class novels and how they fit into the scope and sequence. You can either choose to add this on as an extension within a unit, or you can take the novel guides, which I'm going to talk about in a minute, and use that to help build out your unit in an intentional way. So again, the important thing is that the novels should still connect to the unit's big ideas, the skills, and the learning targets. It should not feel like a totally separate unit dropped into the year. The goal is to help you plan whole class reading with intention. So right now we only have a couple of exemplars of the novel guides. You'll see here that I have Bridge to Terabithia linked as a full novel guide, but the rest of the novels haven't been touched yet. And because of that reason, we do have, in fact, a novel template that is unique to sixth grade because of those emphasis skills that we just talked about. So there is a novel template guide for 6th, 7th, and 8th grade that have specific pieces that we need to call out, especially while reading a whole class novel. As you move into the unit tabs, each unit has a few key sections. First, there's a unit overview. This just gives you a big picture of the unit, including the major text, the learning targets, instructional focus, that sort of thing. Then you'll see the unit plan. This shows one possible way to move through the unit sequentially. I want to emphasize that this is a guide, not a strict schedule. It gives you a sense of how the unit could fit into the year, but you're still the teacher, you know your students, you need to make decisions about when to slow down, when to move more quickly, and what needs more time. You'll also see a resource page. This is where the Lit cohort added resources while they were working throughout the planning this year. This means there's a lot here. Some of it includes shared resources, classroom examples, planning notes, and materials from different teachers or teams. It may not all be polished in the same way, but is meant to be useful and practical as you plan. You'll also see the timeline page, and this helps show how the unit might move across the weeks. Again, it's not meant to be a lockstep calendar. It's meant to give you a planning frame so you can see how the pieces might fit together. Some of the middle school sheets also include dual language plans. Those are still in process and will continue to be developed. At the very, very end of the spreadsheet, you will find a target map. This is designed to show how different academic learning targets are addressed in the unit and to give you a possible way to think through what evidence might go into the gradebook. These are just suggestions, not requirements. The target map is there to support planning and help teams think through carefully about which targets are being assessed, where students have practice opportunities, and what makes sense as gradebook evidence.